Bah, boom. Beautiful weather. Vitisha Mountain is still where it was yesterday. Thing is, Mother Nature provides us with sunshine. And you know what? In the meantime, I'm drinking a coffee. Life is fantastic. Thing is, yesterday I talked about the vaping thing, right? And like always, I never judgmental. I always try a lot of stuff in my life. At the moment, 47, used boatloads of everything. Trust me. The only thing that I didn't ever touch is, yeah, the needle in my arm. The thing is, next to that, so I'm never judgmental and always put things to the test. But one thing that I also tested, because I'm in Sofia, Bulgaria, and the thing over here, and it's not judgmental, I heard about, or from, not heard about, I spent a lot of time here in Bulgaria, so I pretty much know. So, anyway, and when people talk about their girlfriends, or even the guys, that they drink a lot of cola and eat chocolate with it. And the thing is, I put it to the test. And for 2 days ago, I did it 3 times. So I drank a bottle of cola and chocolate. And I did it 3 times just to see, always a second opinion. That's with everything like this. I never also judge things on a one-time event or experience. And when it's about experience, let me tell you this, you know, okay, I have to think about my words because I don't want to get too deep into. So, for example, yeah, I can talk about this one. I also had a period of, let's say, 2 years, but it was more than 20 years ago, that I used for for 2 years, pretty much every 2 weeks, a boatload of mushrooms. And the thing what I want to say with this, I always do, and when I do something, I will do it over the top. So when I speak about stuff, like yesterday when I talked about the vaping, I also had tried the vaping thing for 30 days, up until the moment that I actually visited the factory over here in Sofia, Bulgaria. That made me actually instantly, you know, mentally it made a switch. Like, ooh, there's a lot of chemicals that cannot be good. You know. So when it's about the cola and the chocolate, put it to the test. 2 days ago I did it again for the third time. Me, maybe 1 hour later I fall asleep. So I do have some sort of reaction on the sugars, and I don't know what. Why do I say this? Well, I think the fact that I'm acting or reacting on this is simply my body doesn't like it. The taste, I have to say, I have to admit, the taste is great, and I'm going somewhere with this. The thing is, the outcome is not nice. That I fall asleep, and also when I wake up, I'm totally drowsy. You know, uh, totally fog. My brain is totally not fucked, but has a brain fog. You know. So then I think about people who do this on a daily basis, right? If you do this on a daily basis, cola and uh, a lot of chocolate, and again, I'm never judgmental, but I'm always speaking in my videos reality, and not only this, I speak to the people, this 1% on this planet who want to do a little bit more with their lives, and then that are courageous enough to look at their own habits. In the first place, what I always say, be very ridiculous, relentlessly judgmental to yourself, and then change and adapt a little bit towards what you actually really want in life, and then the rest will follow. It's true, but first you need to set the example. You cannot say, slam your fist on the table and say, no, I want better friends, no, I want this and this, no, I want to meet the spouse of my life, blah blah blah. You have to put in the work every single day. Put in the work. Be, again, relentlessly judgmental to yourself. Try to optimize the good ones, the good habits, the good parts in your, the good processes in your life. And all this is what I see. I'm obsessed with it. I'm doing this 18 hours a day, 18 hours, it is go time. Go, 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 go. Now it's, I think, 11 o'clock. I don't know what time it is. I always wake up at 5:15, and then it's go, go, go. Wrestle around with my pillow. Just slam the pistol pillow, and then I say bye bye, see you after 18 hours. Just going all in. That sounds very exaggerated, though. No, it's not. It's not like this. Actually, I actually force myself to sleep longer than 5 or 6 hours, but it doesn't work out. Anyway, because I'm always excited about stuff, all the stuff that is going on. Anyway, when it's about the cola, and I'm gonna keep this life very short. You know, you consume this, and if you consume this on a daily basis, see, I notice it, but I'm not doing it on a daily basis. That's probably the only reason. But the fact that I'm totally brain fogged, you know, that says something about, let's say, the health issues about the Coca-Cola or cola, Pepsi Cola, any kind of cola. It makes me fall asleep instantly. So that says something about, you know, if you're a person who wants more from life and you consume everyday cola, you got a brain fog. And I know business people who drink cola, and then I always think, yeah, okay, you got a little bit of income, you know, you got a lease guy, you wear a suit and lick ass for a little bit money. That is all great, but if you don't have this brain fog, you probably do more with your life. And then it's constantly about what you consume, right? Other people there talks, that's what you consume. Maybe you stuff your face full with hamburgers and pizzas. You know, I talked about pizzas. The last time that I ate pizza, that was maybe 2 years ago, simply because I don't see the value of it. At the bottom, well, what is the bottom? What is it gonna do? Do I get? See, I always approach food. Does it give me energy? Do I need to recover my joints? So yesterday in the morning I did calisthenics session. In the evening I did a quick 10-kilometer run just to clear my head. And for this you need fuel. And not only this, in the meantime I'm doing a lot of talks with multiple countries, video calls, projects running. So it's go, 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 go. But the thing is, this not only requires physically and mentally, and it's not to brag, but I would not, if I would, for example, if I would drink cola now and I would fall asleep, it doesn't cost me money. I can sleep for a half year if I want to. I don't need to do anything. But the thing is, if I would drink a cola, I would miss a part of the day, you know. And even if I would stay awake, I would walk around drowsy because of the cola. So the cola, what does it do to me? I enjoy life less. And I'm gonna give you another example. Once I stayed with a guy in the Airbnb. He also drank everyday cola, and once he came out of his room, he only stayed for 2 weeks over there, and he complained about his joints. And he said, Dallon, yeah, my joints are hurting. And I said, fuck you, shut up. And then he went back in his room and came out later because he stopped from that day drinking cola and travels around the world now. Just saying. The thing is, he came out of the room first a little bit offended, and then he said, nobody talked to me like this. But this is the thing. If I would have said, yeah, poor little Timmy, come sit on my lap and cry about it, but in the meantime you're consuming all kind of bullshit that actually, you know, makes your body function or perform less, then you shouldn't complain. So he stopped, and then after that, I think he's still busy with a world trip. But I'm not saying that I'm all this and that. No, this is simply my own experience. I always talk from my own experience. I never open a book like a teacher and then tell you what to do. You have to remember this bullshit line, that bullshit line. No. I'm just telling people from my own experience. And also when it's about my work structure that I give away for free, a 12-year-old can do it, so you can start making money with your phone. Not only this, there's only one requirement, that you love to interact with people. And you know, the people who I actually talk to, they actually want to serve the country as well. You know, not only for me. And the people who say always, yeah, you're a money chaser or whatever, no. If I would be a money chaser, I would be sitting behind a desk and work for a boss that I have to ask for a holiday to make pictures in a foreign country. But I don't. And I also don't sit in the office. The thing is, also don't have an offline store where I sit the whole day and eat from my nose. The thing is, I started with an offline store, so I've been there, done that 20 years ago. Fun. Now you evolve. I'm constantly evolving, and it's not to brag. I'm just hyper obsessed, and that's why I can deliver value to people, and I give everything away for free. But how do you make money, though? Well, I do optimize people their communication, and not only this, also their normal traditional sales, A to B sales. There are so many segments in between that can be optimized, and that's where I come in. Anyway, we're not getting too much into this, but for that you need brain power. And I started this specific live stream about be very careful what you consume. Listen to other people that bullshit, get rid of them, cut them out of your life. You only live once. I always say you only live once. Don't listen to other people that bullshit like they, I know when I talk with some business owners that start complaining about the government is always the government, and I always think, when it's about government, it is not to lick anybody's ass. The thing is, those people did specific things very well to get in those positions. And then I always wondered, the people who complain about the government, if they would in that kind of position, how would they act? So in the end, everybody is a human being. That's what I think, and that's how I approach life. And by the way, when it's about approaching life the way I do, simply optimizes my communication and copywriting and all that kind of stuff that actually provides more value for my current people that I work with, but also the younger people, that I, sometimes I meet and I run into very eager to learn young people without an ego. They already had some bullshit in their life and they survived it. So, those people already ahead of the herd. I always tell people, the more bullshit you get in your life, the better. Embrace it, because your life will get way much more depth than, not depth that you owe, but depth, going up and down, the learning curve. And I had for a couple of weeks ago a talk with a woman. She said, Jabadallah, life is constantly busy with me. And I always say, only the strong people get challenged every single day. And in my case, sometimes every single hour. But the thing is, enjoy it, embrace it. You're the lucky one. And trust me, I lived a very colorful life. But anyway, besides that, always embrace adversity. Just say, bring it, give it to me. Give it, you mother... Oh no, don't get in that kind of language. But you understand what I mean. Everybody who lives a life of comfort will have also very platonic and superficial relationships. Look at guys or girls who hang around with each other, the ones that had a real life, so that means a lot of bullshit in their life, and never cry about it, just survive, embrace it. Those people having the most beautiful relationships. And that's why I have the most beautiful relationships. But on top of that, at 47, I learned how to set my boundaries. That's also something that I never had. See, now I have the energy of, let's say, a 25-year-old. But think about this. When I was 16, I had the energy levels of, a wild 6-year-old. I'm not bragging over here, it's true. And that's why I jumped into a lot of projects with people who didn't have the skills that they say they had, but also not the dedication. There's a level of dedication. That's why I'm also talking a lot about what people consume. Look straight away at when new people come in, and take a look at their friends. How do they interact with each other? A little bit in depth, or are they scrolling on the phone? Not only this, what are you consuming? What are you consuming? Eating pizzas? The best thing to test a person, just take them to the supermarket and tell them you will buy the groceries and you're gonna cook together at home. For example, I did those things, and then you can see what they throw in their cart. I never would say, I want to eat this and that. No, for me, it's just a test. I pay up front. So you're not getting into business with a person who throws a lot of chocolate colas in their cart. I don't, because I know the brain is not optimized to perform very well. Of course, when you do just a normal, offline store, and you don't give a shit about money, and also not providing the client value, then it doesn't matter. Then you can consume all the bullshit you want. But what I suggest, if you want more from life, and also when you get in so-called business, feel free to reach out. I've been there, done that, all the normal stuff. I had until I was 30, I did a lot of offline projects, from the entertainment business to normal stores to a lot of other projects that went totally bananas and overboard. And of course, what I always say, my ambition was always way much higher than my talent. And I admit it. But you know what? Fuck it. I failed so much that people got already fed up with it. But now I'm 47. I'm doing everything from the phone because I was constantly evolving how to optimize this. I had also when I was 30, I lost everything. I came to Sofia, Bulgaria to survive. I learned how to make money online. I taught myself. When you try to teach yourself something and you start googling bullshit, trust me, you run into bullshit you don't want to know. It's ridiculous. And if you I'm giving everything away for free for that specific reason. And what I also say, if you're a person who is at the point of losing everything, I've been homeless 3 times, so I know how to get out of there. And but also, not only this, to keep your mind straight. Been there, done that. I'm not ashamed to say that. Not at all. I'm actually very happy with those events because that's when you learn something about yourself. I'm telling you, or you get arrested in multiple countries. Happened also to me. Some were good, but some also totally not right. But anyway, besides that, we're not getting into this. Been there, done that. So you can ask me questions. I'm not opening a book and say, oh, let's see, page 69. Over there it says this and this. This is how you act. No, every situation needs to be customized, and that's why I'm freakishly good at what I'm doing, because I adapt to the industry, to the people that I work with. The youngest one is at the moment that I start working with the past 30 days. That person is 23, and we're gonna pull it. But anyway, that is also when it's about the business ventures. Most of the I cannot do public, but I gonna do 3 public, and you can take a look at it and then actually just duplicate, because I walked the line on the other side offline. I started when I was 11 knocking on a door to clean somebody else's bicycle, and then an upsell cleaning cars. But the thing is, besides that, so I walk the other side, the offline side, so that I'm not some kind of internet nerd who says, oh, you only can use your laptop or this and that, blah blah blah, or a digital nomad who slaves their life away for 30 grand for some kind of idiot business and forgets about, hey, you also need to optimize the sales process behind of the offline. See, I've been there. I know how it is that when a wholesale company comes with a truck and then you have to unload the products. How it smells, how it feels. I can speak about it. I had also a bar for 2 years. I know how it feels to go through tons and tons of barrels on one night, pam pam, tapping the beers like a madman, with 5 or 6, 7 other people behind the bar, dancing, and actually every, I think, 6 days a week, just entertain people, bam bam bam. But it's not to brag. I've been there, done that, and I know how it feels, and that's why I can speak with a lot of offline businesses, and they do understand that I'm not the regular internet nerd. You also don't see me sitting in the famous coffee brand thing with a computer with a big fruit on the back just to show off. No, I think people who promote that kind of lifestyle, that is all good, digital nomads, you just found another way to become a slave to somebody else. Because this is another thing. If you choose a business model to become a slave to somebody else, because that's what it is, and it sounds very fun. The digital nomads, what they do, setting up ads and creating websites, and that's it. And then they kick their client to the curb, and that's it. Because they simply don't know. They didn't walk the line of making sales. Also the way they speak. And a lot of internet nerds, they say, yeah, I'm introvert. Of course, good, you're introvert. So you don't know how to market yourself. You don't know how to sell yourself because you don't know. And I'm not telling that they are all bad people. But if you're a person who wants a little bit more from life and wants real freedom, I'm gonna repeat this, real freedom is not slaving your life away and spending time just to get some extra money. And some people will say, yeah, but those business models, then I am my own boss. No, you're not. Somebody else will decide. So what do you know about this? Well, Don, of me, I develop those strategies. You are in charge. People will ask you if you even would be having time. See, I make time for everybody. Not for everybody, by the way. People who reach out with, hey bro, hey bro, or how are you doing? If I have to answer everybody who asks me how I'm doing, Or if I would get $1 for that, I would get an extra few thousand per month of yeah, for the times that I would respond also on this. But I don't. So anyway, not to talk bad, I'm just speaking to the people who like reality, because that's another thing, and there are levels to the business game. And the thing is, a lot of people who are surrounding themselves, for example, with pizza eaters and cola drinkers, they are not performing on the highest level possible, on the highest level that they would be actually capable of, because everybody who injects themselves with stuff that makes them cloudy or foggy between the brain because they like comfort. And look at people, their characteristics. What did they like? Comfort, sitting in front of the television. If I walk into somebody's home and I see a big television and a very sloppy couch with all kind of stuff on it, you're not gonna work with me. For one reason, you got other things going on in your mind. You're gonna get distracted. The thing is, I don't watch television, see, but I'm also very extreme. I know. I eat like a Spartan, I train like a Spartan, and I actually only focused on. I'm only focused on, increasing my value every single day by obsessively, scrutinizing my own processes that are going on. There are more than, at the moment, 95 automated processes running on make.com. I've given away all those scenarios as well, so a 12-year-old can do the washing if they do want. See, there's of course levels of discipline and consistency, and the majority of people, they like to buy a strategy and feel very so-called motivated when they read the landing page, and then they don't know where to start, and then you need to buy a fucking upsell to join a group with other losers, with all the respect. But I give everything away for free, and I always say, if you putting in the work, you would say, for example, no, and I wrote 50 blog posts or I uploaded 100 videos. I don't know what to do anymore because I hit a mental roof or a creative roof. Just reach out. I'm just speak with everybody. Also, people who talk to me on the street over here. Just, by the way, when it's about talking on the street, I am wearing lenses, and sometimes when I don't wear lenses, I cannot see people waving or something, because I had a couple of people saying, yeah, I was waving, but you don't see me. Sometimes, or actually multiple times, when I just want to be with myself, with my own thoughts, I really enjoy that. Then I don't wear my lenses on purpose. So just to let you know. And also, I always like to implement this as well. Some people, they start acting very weird and then looking at me from different angles, and then they take different positions. Please, I'm also just a human being, and don't try to make me feel uncomfortable. The thing is, do I get scared? No, just I'm a human being. I love to talk with people, especially when people, want to do something. Not the people who are just interested. See, there are also people. I anyway don't attract that kind of people, but the people who are pretty much not authentic, and those are the people who are actually challenging other people to see them fail. And there's a difference. I challenge people to see that they do better, and if they would fail, while they challenge themselves, then I could guide them. But there are a lot of people on this planet that also challenge people, also by questioning a lot of stuff and then try to make fun of them. I had those people, and I pinch straight away through them. And the thing is, and then I built that kind of aura around me that people who are not authentic, running around in suit, driving around in lease cars, and have wives that only play with their phones. And once in a while they crawl up on top of them for 15 minutes, and that's it. That is all nice if you like that, but I believe that human beings are made for living life, full emotion, of course with boundaries, but just go all in. If you do something, do it all in. If you do half work, for example, when people say, yeah, but I keep my private and my private life and my business totally separate. Okay, good for you. You're not obsessed. You're not going all in. There are 10 other people who do go all in. They mix it all together. I mix up everything. you know, on my vlogs and everything, you can pretty much see, okay, that is 10% from what I'm doing, maybe even 5%. And by the way, when it's about what I'm saying in the vlogs, I'm going more and more willy-nilly, and I will share more and more very Spartan stories, so you can learn and also understand that I'm not, you know, dancing around the bush. I've been there, done that. And not only this, of course, I didn't went 27 years to jail, you know, like this poor man, Mandela. That is actually one of those famous people that I think, wow. And then still act when he comes out. That is a very big example for me, one of those big examples. But you know, but that is very, very extreme. And anyway, besides that, forget about drinking my coffee. I'm also drinking, I have water. And I want to close the video because I want to talk with some people in the store. And I'm not going to tell you which store, but there was one guy, he actually helped me out very good. And I'm going to ask him, what do you want to do with your life? See, I'm also constantly scouting people, you know. I'm looking for people who are kind and humble enough to go the extra mile without having any extra direct benefits. Think about this. Always act nice. You never know who's watching. You also never know. And also when it's about, you don't have to act like a simp or some kind of idiot that you're the clown. See, that's another thing, right? When you always get judged because you're the so-called good guy, get away from that. Everything, the guy upstairs or the universe gives you the signs. You know, when things feel off or feel bad, listen to your gut and get the hell out of there. And if necessary, move to another country. I was raised in Holland. I'm adopted, by the way, so you know I don't belong to any race. See, I was born in Indonesia, but do you think that I act like an Indonesian guy or have the so-called tradition? Do you see me smoking with a cigarette under a freaking tree? No. I'm more than blessed that the people from Holland, they picked me up. They died a long time ago. The thing is, I'm now in Sofia, Bulgaria. I will never be a Bulgarian. I will never be a Dutch guy. You know, I will never be an Indonesian fool guy. So I'm fully focused on what I'm doing. Try to provide value for the people who want to claim their freedom and provide for the people around them. Not only for yourself itself. You know, that you look in the mirror. No, I put an extra 1,000 today in my pocket. And good for you. You're not gonna end up very well. And of course, you will end up with maybe a few million a year. So what? Where is the fulfillment? Think about this. What do you really want? What do you really want? And it's not about feeling and follow your passion and all that kind of stuff. I give the work structures how to figure out what you want, how you can monetize it, but also that you stay slightly obsessed with it. Because that's another thing. There's a lot of things that normal people would never tell you. And for example, I remember that I went to school and at one point I couldn't graduate. I don't know even how the wordings for this, but for 3 years. So I was sitting with very young children in my class. And not only this, I also started using a lot of bullshit in that period. But anyway, besides that, I remember one talk with the principal guy or the director guy from that school. He said, Alan, what do you want? When I was 16. See, I already did things and... the thing is, I didn't know. And that's the only question. He only asked the question, what do you want? What direction do you want? Do you want this? Do you want that? No thoughts behind it. That says something about and also that guy was 50. So I'm 47. See, when I speak with young guys, I ask the questions. Not only this, I'm not saying this as an authority person, but I also ask the why. And multiple whys, and also give them suggestions how to figure out what you really want. And I'm always giving this one, I'm gonna give this one now in this video. It's not something unique, it's not something exciting, but just open a Google Doc and write for the next 30 days all the things down that you don't want. Don't want this, don't want this, don't want this. Yeah, but Alan, that sounds very boring. Yeah, but hey, the people who become successful in life pinch through the boredom. And I'm saying this again, pinch through the boredom. Also when it's about my calisthenics thing, I do a lot of stuff over and over. My basic regime, you know, the 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, 1 time, deep dips plus knee raises, pull-up plus knee raises, and then the knee raises on the parallel bar or on the pull-up bar. But the thing is, you do it. You just do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in this mental and physical state. Just go, 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 go. This is, and for me, a 7 days, 365 days a year thing. It goes on and on. And not only this, when I pay attention to people offline, I remember each and every single word, even a year later. And this is not to brag, this is simply because I'm obsessed. Now, think about what I said. Be very careful what you put in your body, and also be very careful to the people that are speaking around you. Also take a good look at their habits. Do you actually really want those habits? People who smoking cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes for 8 months. For 8 months, bam, every day is a package. But you know what? I have to punish myself. So when I smoke, I just run 10 kilometers, feel my lungs hurt. Okay, maybe I should stop smoking. Also, when it's about my drug abuse thing, over 10 years I filled up my nose, bam, and still always focused on doing businesses. But besides that, it's never good. But I can speak about it. When I speak about alcohol and drugs, I never speak down on those people, but I always telling them the reasons why. When it's about drugs, the only reason, for me, I still would enjoy doing sitting in a room, just doing it for 4 or 5 days. But I don't do it anymore because I got other priorities. But one thing that I think is very dangerous about and drugs, besides the health part, is simply you sync with people who you would never sync with. And if you are a person who is a little bit growth focused, you will make agreements and you get constantly disappointed financially, maybe a little bit heartbroken here and there. That's the thing about drugs. The moment that you put something in your nose or in your stomach or whatever, and then you sync all of a sudden, you say, oh yeah, I think about it. Let's do this project, that project. Like this, I also ran into a lot of problems. It's true. Just saying. Syncing with people that you would never sync with. I also see drugs, when you sit with another person, you sync, you take away this spirit that you have to provide value. That you provide value and also build a relationship. You check in. You're not only reaching out to people, oh, now I need something. Do you have a car? Because I need to move stuff. No, you're just really reaching out and without any expectations. And this is, if you then a little bit expand on it, you start talking with the people behind the register in the supermarket. And like I like to do, wherever I go, I speak with pretty much everybody. Although I'm a little bit more in boundaries now, because let's say 10 years ago I would constantly rattle with everybody. But also gave a lot of... So one other thing. I'm constantly holding my coffee because I'm really into this at the moment. Because I think it's important to really scrutinize your own behavior. Just write it down. Just what are you doing? And this is another tip, what I think is perfect. Sit in the dark for 24 hours, if necessary for 7 days. See, the best thing would be that you get arrested and you're for 7 days in solitary confinement. But, that's not for everybody. Anyway, besides that, so do it voluntarily. You go into your room. That's already for a lot of people a big challenge. A lot of people cannot sit in the dark and just write their thoughts down. Yeah, but Alan, I don't see anything in the dark. Well, use a little bit of light, or turn off your notifications and open a Google Doc and write all those things down, your thoughts. And then you're coming out of the room and you think, no, let's explore the world a little bit different. And then you do it again. Maybe you do it 1 hour per week, and at one point you're getting so addicted to optimizing your own life. And the thing is, don't expect overnight results. Just after 90 days, let's see, do you feel better? Do you feel more fulfilled? Do you sleep more deeper? Or you maybe even start considering to implement one of those exercises that I'm also showing, hundreds of exercises that you can do, that everybody can do, and you're not swinging around like a wild baboon. No, you're focused on growing a couple of abs and maybe some biceps, and think brighter. And also when it's about the way I train, it's all first focused, mainly focused on the mental part. Mentally and physically shredded. The physical part will come no matter what you do, as long as you put in the consistent work, not some willy-nilly swinging around on an elastic band, because that is nice for the normal people. That's why I'm also saying, never swim in pools where other people having the same skills. I mentioned this example before. The thing is, when it's about dating events, all those people have one skill, not simply communicating with people. If you need to go to dating events to find a date, well, you know already up front, she doesn't know or he doesn't know how to communicate their boundaries, their value. Because if you can, you don't you pick up people from the supermarket. You know, I'm just saying, I do, and not only over there, the weirdest places, but simply because I sometimes just stand next to people, I start speaking, and then people see, hey, this guy is actually, you know, very engaged into life. And it's not to brag, not at all, not at all. If you would meet me in real life, I'm the most humble down person by life. God took away everything from me. I'm just saying. But do I cry about it? No, I'm using it as fuel because I don't want to see other people suffer, but also definitely not slave away. Huh? Again, because last year I went one time, and again I mentioned this situation because multiple times before, because it actually deeply is over here. Then I went in the subway last year, and I saw the people, you know, playing with their phones, and there's no life in the eyes anymore, no engagement with the world. They're already dead, and that is not what life is. I don't believe that the guy upstairs put you on this planet to be in your own world, focus on the next wages that are coming in so you can pay your rent. I don't believe that. So that's why I'm giving away everything for free, so you can start doing it with your phone, so you can walk around, lay down with your lazy ass under a tree, smoke cigarettes or whatever you smoke, and then you simply develop stuff that you own, increase your value. I can teach people how to learn. That's another thing. A lot of people don't know how to learn, but also learn fast and also implement fast. And while you're learning, you also how to earn. I know those strategies, and I'm doing this every single day, and I'm doing this for decades. But anyway, I'm not bragging over here. I'm just saying it's possible. I'm 47, so if you're 25 or maybe 35 and you think life is all going to hell, you know, I'm your digital uncle. You can reach out. Don't be ashamed. Put your ego, grab your ego by the neck and just dump it in a dumpster. Everybody with an ego will not go further in life than, you know, a lease car, a suit, and licking ass. And this is not to talk bad. I know a lot of people in suits, they're doing very well, and they also have great relationships, and they have pretty much everything in order. But they miss also, again, something is a very, you know, see, I walked both sides of the coin, which is also, you know, I used to be also highly, you know, physical with a lot of stuff. So so I walked both sides. So and that's also one of the reasons that I speak with a lot of people on the street, the homeless people, the people who clean the streets. I speak with everybody, not because that I'm some fucking angel, no, because I'm genuinely interested in somebody else's well-being. And again, not because that I'm an angel, but the thing is, I don't want people to suffer. That's the main thing. And let's say it one more time again. No, I'm not thinking that I'm some kind of dumbass angel. I'm just want to optimize my time, and in the end, let's say, do it for selfish reasons that I feel good about myself. I just spread my energy around when necessary. You know, when I also speak with the homeless people around Christmas, and a lot of people do like that. Would I ever put them on the video like normal people would do? You know, oh, now I gave this homeless guy €100. Now I need to put him on the phone. No, that is bad karma. I think that is very bad karma. So that's why I'm also not doing it. And not that I'm some kind of hippie on a rock that would say everything is about karma. No. But I do believe that there is some sort of silver lining no matter what country you live in. I lived in multiple countries, dealing with a lot of people in multiple industries, and I'm shaking hands with people in very extreme industries. And not only this, it's not to brag, I'm never looking down on anybody, but what I always say, if you do something in life, go all in. Don't say I keep private and this separately. You become something. What am I? I'm .com Baron, I'm Dalan Baron, and I'm providing people value. That's what I stand for. And even in the middle of the night, I'm chatting with people. So That's me. I'm going all in, and I'm just only trying to spark a couple of those people in between their brains, and that they think, oh, I also would like to go all in, but I don't know how. Well, a few minutes ago I told you, try to figure it out. Just open a Google Doc, 30 days in a row, write down everything what you don't want, and this is something doing with your subconscious mind, that you become aware. You're telling your subconscious mind one thing: I want to figure out what I want. And a lot of things happen while you sleep. Yeah, but darling, you don't sleep a lot of hours. But the thing is, I already know what I want, so I don't have to figure that part out. The thing is, I'm doing way much more sophisticated strategies and work structures, and also when it's about business. But the thing is, I narrowed them down so a normal person can start. A 12-year-old can do what I do. But the only thing that is required, that you genuinely care about people and that you like to communicate. And I think communication is the number one thing in life. Okay, besides breathing, eating, and all that kind of normal people stuff. But the thing is, communication. So you know how to communicate your boundaries. You know how to communicate your value without bragging. And there's a whole game to it. It's not say, oh, I'm the greatest. I don't know what, this and this on the planet. That's it. No, you need to give context. You know, you work with your own body language. You know, not everybody looks like Brad Pitt. Me neither. But the thing is, so we have to do it with other tools. You know, you understand what I mean. And be content with what you get, and also optimize what you do have. Because, you know, there are a lot of people that are, let's say, normal people who have so much stuff. They got their whole fucking family, a whole bloodline of 3 generations. They have houses that they live in with rooms that they would never use, and all kind of stuff around that is totally distracting. With no disrespect, but really start focusing also all the stuff that you do have. You know, what do you have? You got a father and mother that's still alive. Well, you're blessed. You're blessed. Every time when you look in the mirror and you got those features in your face from your father and your mother, you're blessed. And no matter how maybe you hate them or whatever, but if they didn't rape you for 10 years every single year, you got nothing going on. You simply need to change your attitude. You need to be grateful for the fact that they fed you and put a roof above your head. Anyway, we're gonna stop rattling because I want to drink my freaking coffee. And I want to move. Like I said, I want to visit one guy in a store, and I'm going to ask him, what do you want? What do you want? Because when I saw when I went to that store, and he instantly, you know, up, chest to the front, not smiling fake, you know, his whole, you know, I see a lot of people who do have human interaction talent, not the ones that say, you know, I'm a salesperson, and they walk around in a suit and smile fake. See, people like me, we pinch through that. It's the same with people who say, you know, 25-year-old, they say that they're stoic and that they're the hardest people on the planet. Well, trust me, I will cure you instantly, and not through violence, but just asking you the right questions. You know, you get your family still alive, you ever went to jail, etc. I would strip it away, but we're not getting into that kind of talk. But always, you know, put your ego on the side. You know, today, if you go outside and you find a dumpster, throw your ego in it, be open-minded, and try to engage with the world. You know, and also what I always like to say at the end of my live streams is simply, you know, nobody ever went to jail for giving too many compliments. And that's it. I'm gonna stop talking. I already talked for 43 minutes. It's done deal. Ciao for now.